Ciao everyone, I hope you're doing well today. We practice some mobility drills and you can use it as a warm-up before your workout or as a workout altogether. When you're ready to start, come either to your yoga mat or to a nice floor that you can use without any support. Find a tabletop position, shoulders on top of your hands, the hips on top of your knees. We begin with some spinal waves. As you inhale, send your heart forward, arching the spine. And then as you exhale, round your spine, the gaze toward your belly. And then again, inhale in, arching. Exhale in, rounding. Let's continue in this way, linking the movement with the breath. If you like, you can exhale through the mouth. Let's try to keep the breath nice and steady. And then after your next arch, lift your knees up, holding here. Shift the shoulders on the same level of your wrist, hold, bit of core engagement. And then as slowly as you exhale, next time extend your legs, bending one knee at a time, like you're pedaling your feet in here. Allow your neck to gently swing as you're saying yes and no, or maybe circling your neck. And then come to this position which is called downward facing dog. Bend the elbows, bend the knees, and then start waving once again. We don't wave all the way forward to plank, but inside the dog. Allow also the neck to move. Allow a few more breaths, like so. And then next time, let's wave all the way forward to plank. As you exhale, nice push up. And coming back to the dog. Now let's start waving, including also a bit of hips mobility and a bit of shoulders mobility. So you're doing a bit more of a spiral type of movement with your spine. Coming back with your knees down on the floor. Let's continue in this way, integrating the whole spine, hips and shoulders. Allow also your cervical spine to move like you're looking behind you, up to the ceiling. And then slowly coming back. Moving your knees up, inhale here. As you exhale, extend your legs. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Take a nice inhalation and fold the spine to reach all the way up. Moving your arms all the way up toward the ceiling. Inhale here. And as you exhale, diving forward. Round your spine. Move your hands down on the floor and then start walking. Cross lateral, so left hand, right foot and vice versa. Try to keep your legs extended, so we stretch a bit the hamstrings. Maybe you take just 2 or 3 steps if you are using the mat, and then 2-3 steps back. As you inhale, roll all the way up and fold the spine, arms reaching up. Exhaling, diving forward. Once again, let's start moving. This is called also caterpillar walk. Look down toward your hands. Moving back. As you inhale, roll all the way up. And then slowly release your arms along the body. Start swinging your arms back and forward. Avoid to rotate from the torso. Use more your shoulders. Also the hips. They slightly rotate, but let's try to keep them in the same position. And then start making circles. Cross lateral circles. If it's too complicated, then do the circles on the same side. Reverse the direction. Keep your gaze straight. Keep breathing. And then back to swinging. And swinging to the side. Allow your back heel to lift up as you start spiraling a bit more. 3 more. 2, 1, and back. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Move your hands to the front and then release your knees down on the floor. To warm up our wrist, rotate your palms to the sides. And then shoulders stuck on top of your elbows and wrists. Start swinging right and left. Keep the spine nice and long, navel in, looking down on the floor or mat. Come back to the center, rotate the fingertips so that they face your knees. From this position, lean a bit more back. The root of the hands are down on the floor, don't lift them up. And then move forward. Once again, back and forward. Let's do a few more times like so. Keep your elbows straight if possible, respecting your range of motion. And back to the center. Rotate once again your hands. This time, take the dorso, the back of the hands down on the floor. The palms are facing your face. Once again, shoulders on top of the elbows and wrists, and then we start bending the elbows out. And then extending once again as you can. Bending back, down, and up. Let's repeat. Moving up and down, navel in, a bit of core engage. And coming up. Release here. Sit on your heels. Give a shake to the wrist. And then circling your wrist. Taking your fingers together, interlock them, making those spirals or circles. And then simply open and close your arms, your hands. Let's activate the arms as well. So let's do this movement by extending the arms up to the ceiling and a bit open on a sort of a V shape. Opening and closing. You can open and close alternately or together at the same time. Keep breathing here. And then slowly release. Coming on your form from this position. Lifting the knees up, navel in. And then we start walking the hands, rotating also the palms. So you start rotating in any direction. And then you start moving your hands, maybe 2-3 steps on your right. Back to the center, 2-3 steps on your left. Keep rotating your hands and back to the center. Come to plank pose, so extend your legs. And then once again, rotating your hands and doing 2-3 steps on your right, back to the center, 2-3 steps on your left. And back to the center, release your knees down. Take a moment here, maybe shaking. Coming back. From this position, let's start making some rounds with the whole body. So we shift the body weight on the wrist. Changing the direction of the circles the other way around. Coming back to the center. And then moving from the palms up to the fingertips like you are gripping something. And then releasing down. Coming up on your fingertips and then releasing down. Coming up, this is also called spider's fingertips, and then releasing down. Try to do up and down with control. So you're using a bit of the arms strength as well. Let's try to stay with the shoulders on the same level of the wrist. Slow down if you need to add a bit of quality to your movement. And then release. Sit for a moment here on the heels. Give a break. Steady your breath. And then moving once again to tabletop position. Tuck the toes, separate the knees, the hips apart, knees up. Swing your hips to your right, so the knees will move to your right. And then come back to the center. Swing your hips to the left. Let's do one more time. Swing your right. Swinging left And then back to the center. Try to keep your knees down, don't move up into a sort of down dog. Keep the knees down, swing right, swing, swing, swing. Keep swinging, right arm reaching up, and then release down, swing into the left, keep the knees low, swing left arm up. Once again like this, swinging right, swinging left. Now it becomes a bit more complicated. We swing right, but we also swing the right leg back. We sink on our hips, and then we come back. Keep rolling really low on the floor. If you've never done, just have a look first, and then we do a bit of repetition here, so you have the time. So you keep rolling as we did before. Rolling low, adding a bit of hip mobility as well as you move the leg up and down. Keep looking down on the mat when you are in a tabletop position. And then slowly release. Coming down on the floor, we give break to our wrist, coming into half pigeon or figure four. So you have, let's start all together, right leg in front. You will have, if you have the mat, your right shin bone facing the front of your mat. Try to keep your right knee and right foot 90 degrees, flex your right foot. Your back leg is close, left knee close to your right heel, bending your left knee as well. And then from this position, try not to use your arms and hands in front of you. We swing forward, we come up, we change the leg without using the hands if possible. You find yourself in half pigeon or figure four with the other leg onto the front. And once again, we go all the way forward. And then we change the position once again, swinging forward. Keep going in this way. If you need to use your hands on the floor. If you can, when you're swinging your back leg forward, lift it up from the floor, so you need a bit of activation. Careful if you have obstacles, objects close to you. Let's keep going. And then next time you have your right leg to the front, stay, sinking as close as you can to the floor. Keep your arms next to you. You can also extend if you want a bit more activation. Hands on the floor if you need more support. And then coming up, left side, stay, hold it here. Keep your gaze down. I know that you might want to look at the video, but careful with your neck. And then coming all the way up, we swing forward, come into tabletop position, tuck the toes, inhale, knees up. We start walking, cross lateral, right hand, left foot, forward, 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 maybe 2-3 steps, and then back, 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 and then forward. Keep your hips in position, don't swing too much. Keep the cross lateral pattern. And then slowly coming back to a tabletop position. From this position, tuck the toes, lift yourself into downward facing dog. And then extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Open the right hip. Right foot toward your buttocks here. Keep pressing back with your shoulders. Square your hips, right leg extended in three-legged dog. Pulse up. Engage the glutes, pulse, pulse. Hip square, same level, pulse. Release, left leg up, open, left hip, bend your left knee, left foot closer to your buttocks. Stretch your hip flexor here. Looking toward the back leg, press back with the shoulders. Come back, extend, three-legged dog. Point your left foot, square your hips, and start pulsing. So you take your left heel higher up to the ceiling, and then you release it a bit, and you keep doing this by engaging the glutes. Keep pulsing. 3, 2, 1, and release in downward facing dog.
Now we give a bit more activation by coming up, open with your right hip, release the right foot down into a wild thing situation, a bit of a back bend here. Coming back up, square the hips, and then rolling forward to a plank, right knee to your forehead, twist to your left, extend right leg, lifting left arm up to the ceiling, and coming back. And we repeat all the way up, roll back, wild thing. Coming up, forward, twist, right leg to the floor. Is the same side, we do one more time. Rolling up and back to wild thing. And rolling forward and twist. And back to three-legged dog. Let's have a break here into child pose. Open the knees to the outside. Extend your arms to the front, come to your fingertips. Forehead down on the floor. Keep your spine nice and long. Coming back to your breath. Lift yourself up. Tuck your toes, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, wild thing. Now we're doing the other side. Coming back to the center, left knee to your forehead, then twist to your right, left leg extended, right arm reaching up, and back. We go for wild thing once again. This is the second round. And then we twist. And then last time into wild thing situation. And then into the twist. Coming back to the center. Down dog. Knees down. Puppy pose. Keep your hips the same level of your knees. Walk your hands forward, press down, forearms down, chin down, chest toward the ground or the mat. Shoulder stretching here. Slowly press up, coming back. Tuck your toes, come up into down dog. Have a mini jump to the front. Coming all the way up. Step your left foot all the way back. Coming into high lunge, arms reaching up. And then open your arms to the outside and press back. Keep pressing back like you're resisting something. Keep opening with the shoulders. Rise your arms up straight, palms facing each other. Tap with your left knee toward the floor. Instead of tapping, actually almost coming down, and then lift yourself up. And then once again, keep your hips parallel to each other. We do 3. We do 2 more. We do 1 more. Coming up. Moving to the front. Catch your left ankle with 1 or 2 hands. Left knee same level of your right knee. Left foot to your buttocks. You can go a bit into a back bend here, opening your shoulders. Then straighten your spine, release shoulders forward, keep the quads stretching, and release. Right foot back, high lunge, arms reaching up, inhale. Exhale, open to a T, and then press back. Keep pressing back. Like you want the dorso of the hands being parallel to each other, although they might not be completely parallel to each other. Keep pressing. Keep pressing back with your right heel, stretching your calf muscle. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, almost tapping on the floor. And again, and 3 more. Minimal movement from the hips, don't wobble around. Last time. Moving forward, catch your right ankle with 1 or 2 hands. Right knee same level of the left one, so to move it forward. And then going into a back bend option. Open with your chest, shoulders back. Strengthen your spine, shoulders forward, but keep the knees in position, keep the foot closer to your buttocks. And release. From your position, left leg back, left knee down. Sink into your hips, anchor the toes, arms reaching up and back, dropping the head back, open with the chest. Keep sinking into the hips. One more breath. Moving up, moving forward. Right foot back, right knee down, anchor the toes on the other side. Remember, knees moving forward is over your ankle, sinking. So we stretch the hip flexor of the back leg, arms reaching up for a back bend, open with the chest, drop the head back. Keep breathing. And slowly moving up. From your position, stepping back, step your right foot outside right hand, left knee down, anchor the toes. Inhale, right arm reaching up and back, twist here, open with your right hip and the right knee to the right, looking up, bending the left knee, so the back one, and catching your foot if you can. If you have it, press it over your glutes, stretch your quads here. And then slowly release, come back, come to plank, left foot outside left hand, right knee down, anchor the toes. Inhale, left arm reaching up and back, open with the left hip, left knee pointing out. Stay with the twist. Bend your back knee, maybe catching the foot. Press it over your glute for a quad stretch. Keep opening with the chest, keep opening also with the shoulder. Slowly release, come back. Come to a tabletop position and then separate your knees to frog position. Flex your feet 90 degrees. Take the pubic bone closer to the mat or the floor as you can. Don't move forward. Keep your hips same level of your knees. Keep pressing the floor away, don't sink into your shoulders here. Extend the right leg. Maybe now you can take your pubic bone a bit closer to the mat or floor. Keep the other leg as it was. This is half frog. If you are using the mat, you are either staying on the long side to have both knees on the mat, or maybe take a blanket underneath your knees. If you don't have the mat, you need to resist the sliding motion, so you activate, you work a bit more on your strength. Coming back to regular frog, both knees bent, flex feet. Extend the left leg, keep the right knee as it is, pubic bone maybe now closer or touching the floor or mat. Come back to regular frog, both knees bent. Press on your hands, close your knees, tuck the toes, jump your feet outside your hands, squat into Mahalasana, the yogic squat. Knees and toes pointing out or maybe parallel to each other if you can. Left hand down, right arm up, twist here, open, maybe binding by inner rotating your shoulders. Open, coming back to the center on the other side. Inhale, open, twist, stay, or inner rotation of your arms. Open, coming back to the center. We start tapping the knees on the floor. Tapping, coming back to the squat. Tapping on the other side, coming back to the squat. Your arms are just in front of you or next to you. This is hard, but we can do it. We do one more time. And release, coming up. Opening your legs on a V shape, toes are pointing out, and squat. Maybe arms relax in front or back. Avoid to move forward. Stay straight. We can do it. You can do also this one with the pole here. So you know that if the pole is drilling and dropping down on the floor, you are moving forward. And then slowly moving up. Shake your legs if you need. From this position, we move all the way down to a nice plank position, and we release ourselves to the floor. Extend your arms to the front. Pubic bone down on the floor. Inhale, reach up, arms, head, chest, legs. Squeeze your inner thighs, toes are touching together, hands are touching together. Squeeze or smash something in between your hands. Keep looking down on the floor. Keep squeezing. Knees up, thighs up. Keep squeezing, don't release it. And then release down. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bend the elbows toward your chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Stay. Extend your arms, palms facing up. Release forehead on the floor. Hands on the floor. Shoulders up. The back is straight. Reach higher with your legs, feet together. Keep squeezing. Knees up. Thighs up. Keep squeezing. Straight spine. Open the shoulders. Reach up. Interlace your hands. Maybe lifting your chest and head higher. And then release. Extend the left arm to the left hand down. Roll on top of your left shoulder. Chest toward the ceiling. Extend the right arm toward the other arm. Keep your left hand down on the floor, palms down. The head is down. If you need the support, take a pillow or a block under your left temple. And then slowly release. And we go on the other side. We roll on top of the right shoulder. Don't move the right hand down toward your buttocks. Keep it in a 90 degree. Chest moving up to the ceiling. Left arm is also moving toward the same direction of your right arm. It's almost like they are parallel on top of each other. And then slowly coming back to the center. From this position, moving yourself up. Jumping through your hands, coming to sit. Bend your right knee, your right foot outside your buttocks, and then bend the left knee on top of the right one. So you find yourself in this weird position. Your feet basically are outside your buttocks. Your knees are on top of each other. From this position, your opposite arm. So if you're doing like me, you have your left knee on top, you will lift your right arm up. From this position, we bend both elbows innerly rotating our shoulders. If you need, drop your chin toward the chest, otherwise keep the whole spine nice and straight. Notice if you are moving, maybe toward the left, slightly rotating your spine, and try to stay straight in here. You can use a block under your buttocks if you need. And then instead of going for passive, so binding your hands and that's it, we go for active. I show you from the back. From this position, instead of just holding in here, we keep the elbows pointing out, and then we try to avoid to touch hair, shirt or skin, and we try to go toward the opposite hand. So keep going. And then release, this time binding. And then release without using your hands. Change the position of your legs. You will have the other knee on top. So if you're doing like me, right knee on top, left arm reaching up, inner rotation of the shoulders. Once again, let's try to keep it active without touching the shirt, the bra, the skin. Go toward the opposite hand. And then release and see if you can bind. Elbows pointing out, don't close, shoulders open, straight spine. And then slowly release, give a shoulder rolls here. And then from your position, swing. Let's have a mini jump actually. Cross the ankles, hands on the floor, jumping back, knees down, tuck the toes, knees the same level of your hips, moving up. From this position, moving the hips forward, opening with the chest, collarbones moving away from each other. And then release your left hand toward the heel. Maybe this is easy for you, you can release and curl the toes. And then right arm reaching up and back. So you go for a back bend here, looking behind you. Spiral toward your left, so you're twisting. And then spiral all the way up straight. Right hand toward your right heel, left arm reaching up and back. Go for a back bend. Spiral to your right, so you're twisting. And then spiral up. Now we keep it a bit more active. If you don't have the mat, you suffer on the knees, blanket underneath. Spiral to your left, spiral forward and to your right. Keep reaching for your back bend, and then spiral up and on the other side. Let's keep going. Last round. And back. Sitting on your heels, knees down. From this position, left hand on your mat, then press up with your hips. Right arm reaching up and back. Keep pressing forward. Sit down, come back to the center. Right hand on the floor, lift hips up. Left arm up and over. Keep pressing forward and down. Once again, left side, right side, back on the floor. Separate your feet, separate your knees, buttocks on the floor or on a pillow or block. Stretch your quads here. If it's easy for you, come to the forearms, or even with the back of the head down on the floor. The knees are down on the floor, parallel to each other or touching together. Slowly lift yourself up. Tuck the toes on the floor, come back up on the knees. And then from this position, arms extended. Lean back, don't sit, lean forward. Lean back, forward. Now we are using the quads. And forward, back, forward, back, forward one last time, and forward, coming up. Jump with your hands, come to sit, extend your legs, fold forward. Separate your legs on a V shape and fold. And then slowly come to a cross-legged position. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhaling, hands down. Inhaling, arms reach up. Exhaling down. Last time, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Close your eyes for a moment or keep a soft gaze on the floor in front of you. Taking a moment to appreciate your own body, maybe saying thank you to your own body. And then when you feel ready, open your eyes. Well done. I hope you enjoyed this class today. As usual, do let me know if you have any questions, doubts or feedback in the comment section. Take care of yourself. See you next time. Ciao!